This diagram maps out the Florida Sales Associate exam. There are 19 content areas, but they are not weighted equally. Isolate just 10 of these subjects and may account for 80% of your final score. That uneven distribution exposes a severe flaw in how most people prepare. If you divide your study schedule to treat every topic equally, you are spending hours memorizing details that barely move the needle on test day. To be clear, acing these 10 areas does not automatically guarantee a passing grade. You still have to engage with the other 9 subjects to cross the finish line. But isolating these high-value categories gives you a data-driven framework. It tells you exactly what to attack first. By exploiting this mathematical asymmetry right out of the gate, you build a solid, high-yield foundation before you ever get bogged down in the minutia. Looking at the first highlight on our diagram, Priority 1 is brokerage activities, making up roughly 12 of the exam's 100 questions. This covers the rigid rules of operation. For example, all advertising has to display the brokerage name clearly, but it actually doesn't require the broker's phone number or photo. As the counter jumps to 24%, we hit Priority 2, real estate contracts, another 12-question category. Here, you need to understand the exact status of agreements, like an executory contract, which simply means the buyers and sellers have agreed to terms but have yet to actually perform their obligations and close the deal. Mastering just these 2 fundamental areas instantly secures nearly a quarter of the entire exam. Our diagram now advances to 33%, with Priority 3, residential mortgages. This covers 9 questions about lending instruments. You'll need to know that the legal function of a note is strictly to serve as evidence of the borrower's debt to the lender. Moving to Priority 4, we add 8 questions on property rights. This requires knowing specific legal definitions, like the right to encumber a property, which is simply the right to pledge it as collateral for a loan. Priority 5 adds another 8 questions covering real estate appraisal. You'll learn to spot functional obsolescence, which happens when a property has outmoded physical features, like a modern office building that lacks the fiber optic cabling needed for today's internet speeds. Priority 6 brings 7 questions on brokerage relationships. The exam tests the difference between following the bare minimum of statutory legality and actively applying the ethical mandate of the Golden Rule to treat others as you want to be treated. Priority 7 focuses on title and deeds for another 7 questions. You must know that a general warranty deed provides the buyer with the maximum possible protection because the grantor promises to defend against any and all future claims to the title. By absorbing these specific day-to-day operational mechanics, your baseline score easily pushes well past the midpoint of the exam. The counter hits 69% with Priority 8, license law. This section brings 6 questions directly tied to Florida statutes, specifically Chapter 475, which establishes your legal rights as a licensee while protecting the public welfare. Priority 9 adds 6 questions on math and closings. You'll need to walk through specific accounting logic, like using the 365-day proration method to calculate a buyer's unused portion of hazard insurance at closing. And the counter officially hits 80%, as we add Priority 10, legal descriptions. These 5 questions test your knowledge of plotting land, such as identifying the lot and block system as the standard method for subdividing large tracts into residential or commercial plots. By systematically securing these 10 precise categories, the vast majority of the exam's structural weight is now firmly under your control. Understanding the math behind the test is only half the battle. Now you have to apply it to your actual schedule. This chart lays out a strict 7-day initial study plan. Spend exactly 80% of your initial study time digesting those 10 heavyweights we just covered. Leave only 20% of your week for the remaining 9 areas. After that first week, you must abandon this generic weighting. You'll need to run a diagnostic to find your personal blind spots, and then shift all your hours toward the subjects where your accuracy is lowest. To establish that personal baseline right now, go to casaacademy.com/free-exam prep and take the free diagnostic exam.